What's up, everybody? I'm Winos411 along with the co-founders.
Sire.
EX.
And welcome to another edition of the Unfiltered Party. Now, today's topic was brought to you from Zaire himself, and it's a very interesting one. And this was one I wanted to bring up a couple of days ago, but there were a little bit of complications regarding preparations and, personal life matters, but that's aside the point. Today's topic is very controversial. So, although we put the disclaimer on each of our videos, it is with high warning that I must tell you, if this is something that you're going to be really antsy about, you might not want to watch this video. So I'm going to say that in advance. So at this point, I would like to give the floor to Neo, since he hasn't really started off the episode ever yet. So Neo, go ahead.
So, today's topic would be about the whole pandemic quarantine stuff. How it's been handled so far, and what our experiences have been throughout, ever since it first started. So, to begin with, the government hasn't really done a good job about it ever since it was first introduced up until now. Only thing that has ever changed is the vaccine and the restrictions that they put from 6 feet to constantly covering your face with a mask. Now, the fact that ever since it began up until now that the cases were just skyrocketing, it was only because of the fact that the government tend to ignore it, saying, "Oh, it's only happening in China." Like when the whole thing with, I think it was, I already forgot
Wuhan?
I think it was Ebola.
Oh.
That it was only like in Africa for the most part, or something like that.
Yeah, that was Ebola.
And that it wasn't gonna spread over here and all this stuff. And they were treating it like that, but then in the end they realized too late that the virus has been here. Even though sources say, and I cannot confirm at all, the fact that the virus was here even before they technically found out in March. Some people have said that it's been here since the year before, in 2019, like in November, like around that area. And it's just the fact that they just played stupid. And so far, up until now, all they've done is just play the blame game. China blames the US for supposedly weaponizing the virus and taking it to China when the US forces were there, to the US blaming China because they wanted to create a bioweapon and so forth. So, that's pretty much all I have in terms of the government. And for now, I'll just give the floor to Zaire.
The truth is more likely to stab you than
I don't really have much to say about my experience besides just, I got it and stayed home. That's pretty much it. But in terms of the symptoms and stuff, it wasn't as bad as other people. That's about it. That's all I can say.
All right. I believe I'll give the floor to Zaire. Zaire?
Well, here's the thing with the pandemic. A lot of people started freaking out at the moment that it was too late already. And people started making stupid choices like raiding, stores and everything for toilet paper, for food and stuff like that. And we're not leaving anything behind for anyone. Even though that me and my family caught COVID right at the beginning, still the state doesn't really much try to take the right precautions. I mean, like, we're in New York. At first, we were slow. We got hit the most, and then our cases started to go down. But it doesn't mean we're out of the ball. We're still.
It was only going down because of the fact that most of the population was already infected.
Yeah, so it's not the fact that it's going down because we took the right stabs. It's just because we already got infected. Like most of us already caught the virus. And honestly, some states are still not listening, still not following certain restrictions, including white noise state that is Texas. The fact that they're gonna allow people to make the choice of not to wear a mask and opening 100% just to get the economic running. And I feel like the only reason why they did that is because they lost a lot of money, especially during the winter storm they had, that winter vortex that passed through their state. And because they weren't used to it, they lost a lot of power. Businesses were closed. People didn't know what to do. A lot of pipe ruptures. And I even had family members over there that they lost their homes into a fire. And, you know, it's crazy. It seems like they really want that money. So they already lost money with the pandemic. They lost money with the winter vortex that was unpredictable. And I feel like they're trying to get back up by lifting up the restriction, giving people choices of not wearing a mask and able to open 100%. To be honest, I understand the whole point, but still it's very unsafe. We're still not out of the pandemic. We're still in the pandemic, even if things going slow, even if the virus spreading very slow. There's other variants that are out there. People are still not confirmed. There's vaccines, I get it, but the vaccine hasn't been tested for more than a year. It's only for emergency use only, and that's something that kind of hesitate people like me to even get the vaccine. I mean, I already caught COVID, but it doesn't mean I'm immortal. I just feel like I'm just gonna wait until they finish with the trials and stuff like that. But the fact that Texas is not the only state with this type of plans to open up 100%, but in the end you're in danger and everybody else. I get it, we live in a country of freedom, but freedom doesn't mean let's risk everybody, you know, around us and let's get sick or something like that. We don't want that. We need to protect each other, and I think we have failed to do that, especially when the COVID hit all the states really fucking hard and we ran out of ICUs, beds and stuff like that, and it was pretty low.
Well, you just gotta remember the fact that some people refuse to do most of those things because of the whole, you know, this is a free country and whatnot. Just the way that people are stupid.
Yeah.
They just want to do whatever they want.
You know, even with the president we had, you know, it was kind of difficult to convince people. Even the president caught it. The fact that the president caught it and he was still supporting other people. Okay, do the freedom whatever you want, but you still gotta understand, like, what if your family member gets sick? What if they die? You know, they don't do anything. They don't react unto their family members or someone they love gets sick and lose their lives. Right now, there's a lot of people that haven't caught it. Based on the people that I know a few people that, you know, haven't caught it yet. And it's crazy because I'm like, damn, almost a whole state has caught it. But there's still other people that are still getting sick and stuff like that. But yeah, that's something I feel like we need to start thinking about, having to protect each other. I think it's going to get to the point where they're going to close down other states that don't want other states that have the virus already that lift up the restriction to come over to our state. So I give an example. It'd be nice if New York closes the airports to states like Texas, like that. We can stop avoiding the spread and be a little bit more stricter with the whole flight. I understand that means money, but it's better to lose money than to lose more lives. So that's my honest opinion, and I give the floor to White Noise.
Wow. Well, how can I put this as compact and straight to the point as possible?
Be sensitive.
Okay, I'll put it this way. Let's start from the beginning. The way this pandemic has panned out in terms of dealing with it has been catastrophically a colossal failure. We have had several individuals who had the opportunity, key figures mind you, that had the potential to pretty much tame this pandemic. But what happened? They, instead of actually following the directions of people that actually know what they're talking about, what do? Oh, don't worry guys, we got this, yeah. we're just gonna give ourselves a raise, raise everything up, but yeah, you only get a limited amount of stuff to work with in terms of resources. But hey, you guys will work it out. I'm sure something will come up. And for those of you that missed that kind of the subliminal joke to that, I'm gonna say it right now. The government has been managing this whole situation poorly. Donald Trump was the start of it all. This guy was warned in advance since as far as November that this virus was going to affect millions of lives. What does he do? He blasts rhetoric nonsense on Twitter to the point where it just became ridiculous in all aspects and forms. So he waits until practically the end of February, almost the beginning of March, to actually implement some kind of countermeasure. And I'm like, yeah, this guy's a freaking moron.
It's like they're downplaying it like if it was Ebola.
No. That's what I'm saying. But because he's the commander-in-chief, this is the thing you gotta understand. Because once you're president, you're the commander-in-chief. You're practically a floating target for the media. So anything you say, chances are a lot of people is going to listen to you. But in his case, he said the most craziest things of all time, made us pay attention to things that we had no way in our right minds paying attention to when we had to focus more on this virus. But that's not to say he has the entirety of the blame. No. The problem is, like I said, he's a key figure to the mass public. So he has great influence over the decision of the people. And it was just in his retrospect of how I see things, and the retrospect of how I see things, of how he managed it, it was just god awful. He managed it poorly. Then there's the whole Democratic Party and the Republican Party going back and forth with this freaking debate on, should we give them a stimulus package? Should we give... Why are y'all debating this? Why are you debating this? Your country is in a crisis. You don't debate.
Money.
That's what I'm like. You do not have the audacity to debate such a thing. You help your country, because during this pandemic, let's take a look at what has happened. We've had to vote for this. We had to wait. Millions of people had to wait for the House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives, and all this other factors. Had to wait for them to make a decision. But during this time, more cases of the virus were spreading. More people were dying left and right. And to top it off, all essential workers were being overworked to the point where some of them even had caught the virus itself due to the environment of them being, being around people that may have had it. And it's like, those workers don't get raises, mind you. They don't get raises at all. And they should have gotten raises since the very beginning. And second of all, why is it that unless something happens to the government per se, that's when they want to act quick when it comes to financial situations and whatnot? But for the rest of the people that make the government, just fuck them all. We got plenty of them, right?
It's basically survival of the fittest.
And I'm like, that's bullshit. So then there's the third thing. During the second time we had to vote for the stimulus checks, mind you, a lot of Republicans and a few Democrats were complaining about it. But here's the real kicker. They gave themselves a raise. What the fuck are you giving yourselves a raise for? You didn't do anything. You're not the ones going out there making sure people are all right. No. You practically sat at the freaking office doing nothing productive. Nothing. And you have the audacity to say no when there's people suffering? I don't know how the hell y'all people can sleep at night. I really don't. You people deserve to die the most violent death possible for even having such a train of thought. There's millions of people that freaking died from this virus, and you people treat it as if it's just a commodity or that it's nothing to be feared of. No, it's a threat. It's a very viable threat, and it's a visual one you can see for yourself. There's moving records for it. Lastly, this is what really takes the cake. For months, states have been struggling, due to business declinations, and unfortunately, there have been businesses that have either foreclosed or had to adjust from the times. And I get it's very difficult. I get it. And for them to pretty much at this point right now in time, despite the fact that there's 3 companies working on a vaccine, mind you, it's not, even still to this day, it is not a guaranteed thing. So about, I'm gonna say 13 or 14, there's probably more, I could be wrong, 13, 14 states max have decided, including where I live, have decided to open everything at 100% capacity. Are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? You think just because 3 companies have an experimental vaccine that you don't even know will work at all, and then mind you, they are still testing for the side effects also. And there was even a case where one person almost died while taking that vaccine. One person almost
the original
died.
vaccine. The original vaccine that first came out.
Yeah.
It was reported that 2 people that took the vaccine died.
Yeah. So keep this in mind that about 2 people have died, and even then, I understand it's a very low percentile, but still, it's a percentile you have to be aware of. So you're putting all your trust on a vaccine that hasn't been fully tested correctly. And you're open. Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
So you're basing your notions on that. You're pretty much just putting everything on that one basket that everything's okay, and you're opening the entire state because you want money. No, money is circulating. Money is circulating. Granted, it is not circulating in the way you want, but it's circulating. Everything is being spent on. And for you to disregard safety protocols just for the sake of your ego and for the sake of you wanting money, do yourself a favor. Drop off a cliff, die. Die. Because not only are you jeopardizing the lives of millions, but you're also creating more problems than what it's actually worth. Because to be honest, if we had all gone under quarantine the way we should have done, by eliminating travel, eliminating public interaction the way we should have, this would have been tame. This would have been not to the extent, and it wouldn't been as long as it has gotten to this point. But you want to know something? There's like a whole bunch of freaking government officials that are just absolute morons. And it just baffles my mind that governors actually have this thought that, everything will be okay as long as we, protect ourselves. No, that doesn't qualify for everyone. Everyone has different needs. Everyone has different cases. You don't know what the hell is going on in their lives. And you just practically doom them. I can't. I could say millions of things regarding this topic, but it just doesn't justify the ugliness that this pandemic has really brought out in some people, and you see them for what they are. And I hope that when this thing is over, I hope that when this is all over, that these people will remember what the hell happened to them and how these officials handled the whole situation. Because at that point, I'm like, you better get rid of all these fuckers. Get rid of every last one of them.
To be honest,
because they don't deserve to be on their seat.
To be honest, you know what's worse? Let me add to what you were saying. After they gave the COVID relief first stimulus, whatever money was left, who kept the rest of the money? They did. They paid each other. They didn't need no fucking money. They really didn't need any of that shit. So it's unfair. Really unfair.
They, like I said, everything that was managed financially by the pandemic, by these officials, it's just complete nonsense. So what you're saying is people that are trying to live desperately on their lives, owning a house, mind you, this is just the average Joe. Mind you, there are certain people that unfortunately don't have that kind of luxury, and I'm only basing it on, you know, people that actually have houses. For people that have houses and make normal payments, chances are, because of the declination of the job market, because there are certain jobs that also foreclosed, also were terminated, their employees left and right due to budget costs, and it has happened. So if that had happened to you and you were not deemed an essential worker, instead of having assistance of any kind, especially when it came to your payments, because they could have made more payments as long as they put it in the back end of the loan. So in this case, let's say you owe like $500 this week, but because you're trying to find employment, they could have just put all payments on hold at that point, and then when you finally had a job, start paying it off again, because this is a pandemic. No, these people had the audacity to demand money right then and there. How? How do you do that? But I'm pretty sure that if it happened to them, they'd be like, oh my God, feel sorry for us. No, we're not going to feel sorry for you. We're not.
Why not? I try to understand one thing. I live in the state. We're still not out of the park, but we still have restrictions. We're taking things slowly. There's certain things I wish they would have opened, but you yourself living in the state that they finally decided to lift up all restrictions. How does that feel? Especially you that have family, that have kids. How do you feel about that? Like, you're the one that's gonna experience the most chaotic moment of the country.
Like I said, certain officials do not deserve their spots right now. And for example, Governor Abbott, I think he's a complete and utter moron. He is a waste of freaking thought. He should not be anywhere near a governor's position, let alone anywhere near politics in general. The man is unfit to be a leader. He thinks that by opening all this excuses him from the fact that what happened a few weeks ago from the power grid situation that happened here. There was a lot of people, especially in the Fort Worth area and other places in Texas, that had no power, all because he couldn't prep anything. So you think that because you're a crappy leader, you're gonna lift restrictions all of a sudden, that everything's okay again? Like, no, people are not okay with you being a governor. And I hope, like I said, I hope when people remember this, and when this is majority for the most part tamed or over, I hope it's over, they remove him.
No, he ran away. And that's what he did. He ran away with his family.
He's been doing this. Yeah, he's been doing this for years. He's been doing this for years, and it baffles my mind that people still defend this guy. And I'm like, where is your intelligence right now? Is it so far up your ass that you're practically just refusing to see the truth for what it is, or you're just trolling? Like, which one is it? Like I said, either way, it just baffles my mind.
Why not? I thought a leader supposed to stay with his path, be there, help them push through, now run away, and let's see how this going to solve it. You know what I mean? I guess he has people that work to help others, but he also got to put his part. If his people are going through all this suffering, because there are people needed gas, like the fact they ran out of gasoline. People had to go find this gas. Some people didn't even make it. They stopped halfway.
Yeah. You know what? And then, mind you, because especially when this pandemic started, it wasn't even him that issued the stay-at-home order at first. It wasn't even him. It was the person running the damn county. How do you have the person running the county who's below you tell everybody, hey, stay at home? We don't know what we're dealing with. It took a freaking county official to. That's what I'm saying.
Because it was a lower class. Like you have the voice, the power, and you don't say anything, and other people gotta protect their own little boroughs. It's not even about you're gonna protect the whole entire state. No, each borough was on their own. They had to make their own choices.
Exactly. Like I said, it just baffles my mind that people of lower positions were making more qualified and sane judgments than anyone that was further up. And it's like, why are you in this position? Why are you here? Why are you here? Why can't you go away? Why can't you just pick up your crap and just go? Pick up your crap and go. Because you're not wanted if that's how you're going to be. You're not wanted. You're not needed. You're just there to occupy space, and it seems all you want is a paycheck. Well, if you want a paycheck, guess what, buddy? You have to work for it like everyone else. And it's about high time for the people actually see these officials and be like, yeah, you're out because you've been doing a shitty job. Like, you want to make, that's the thing, you want to make it a business economy? Well, then here's your chance. Make it a business economy. Make it a business that actually works.
It's crazy, White Noise, because I saw a recent video, facts, how did Texas end up in the ruckus they end up with the whole power outage? Every state had their own power plant, their own little energy grid. If one state loses a power, another state can send power to that state that's losing power. But here's the crazy part. Texas is the only state in the United States that doesn't have that connection with other states. So when they lost power, they couldn't get power anywhere. Every other state, if they would have lost power,
but here's the thing. Yeah, but here's the thing. Texas is not normally built for that kind of weather. And I understand that. But my biggest issue was he did nothing to prepare for it. He didn't put, for instance, he didn't order, the city, he didn't order anyone to be like, hey, you got to put, salt in the freeways or something like that. You have to, he has no alibi for having such shitty leadership. And I'm like, if people like that can be in a position to pretty much govern people, I expect people like me to be in that position with no fucking degrees, no fucking requirements necessary to have that job, and then be like, yeah, I want to facilitate people. Because if it takes a moron to be able to lead, to facilitate people, I want everybody to be up there, not just him.
White Noise, I'm voting for you for the next mayor of Texas.
I don't even want to
Governor of Texas, White Noise, 411.
Let me tell you what the 411 is. No.
That's his phone number. He's a lawyer.
Vote for him.
Got into an accident? Call White Noise 411. He'll get you the compensation you need.
But yeah, it's like I said, it just this whole situation has been so baffling, and I try to drown myself out of it as much as I can, even focusing on my personal life. But it's just like, it's just that one like itch you got on your back where it's like it won't leave you alone unless you actually pick at it, and then even then, you know that if you pick at it, it's gonna hurt more. That's what it feels like.
It's like a virus that won't go away.
Ain't that the freaking truth? But anyway,
COVID.
That's all we have for today. Unfortunately, this video has been very drawn out.
I apologize in advance for my short responses because I really didn't have much to say.
I mean,
Yeah.
Pandemic is a piece of shit, and that's something we can all agree on.
Yeah, we can
Fuck the
fully agree on that.
pandemic. Fuck the government. Okay.
Riot.
I'm with it. Because they lost all credibility with me.
Cause the riots. Okay. Don't do it.
Let's take
No.
those hours.
Because then I get in trouble.
Look, people, we're not telling you to go riot. We're not telling you to, cause some massive hysteria, genocide, or whatever it is that you think we're
Go
telling
to
you
McDonald's,
to do.
get a cheeseburger, you mind your own business.
Yeah, just
or
the
whatnot.
thing is, try to do things safely and sanely as possible. And no matter what your officials tell you, you have to make decisions based on your sane and utter judgment. And for those of you who do the contrary and try to put others in risk, here's what I gotta say to you. Fuck you. Fuck yourselves.
Why not? Neo, I got a great idea. Let's take 1 hour politely with please and thank you.
No.
That's kindergarten shit. Get out of here.
No.
Have your snack time somewhere else.
Nah. Well, anyway, that covers it for today. If you want a specific topic covered by us, the three members of the Unfiltered Party, be sure to leave a comment down below. And you can also leave a comment on our Facebook page and our Twitter. See us there as we'll pick one of your topics and we'll talk about them. Until then, I'm White Noise 401 along with the co-founders of this channel.
Zaire.
NeoX.
And we'll see you in another installment of The Unfiltered Party.
What's up, bitches?